Welcome to your known unknown, where Source and I will help to shed light for what's unknown to you. This is for the sign of Aries. This is going to be for the new moon in Aquarius energies coming up here at the end of January 29th. We're going to be doing just a full in-depth tarot spread for you to see what energies are coming through for this next chapter, kind of what the next step is, how we're stepping into this energy, and where we're needing to focus, step it up as well. So Aries, welcome, and thank you. This is for Aries again, like I said, anywhere in your chart placement, sun, moon, rising, any other placements that you are being so called to come and join in on this message that is meant specifically for you. So let's get to it. Let's pull some cards and let's see what it is that Aries needs to see coming up here in the next week or so. What energies are we stepping into for the sign of Aries? Angels, spirits, guides, ancestors, universe, source, divine, creator, higher self that you are and all that I am. Thank you for being with us today during this reading. Please allow me to intuit perfectly for the sign of Aries and all placements for the new moon and Aquarius energies coming up. Show us what we need to see. Show us what we need to see. Thank you. Right off the bat, we have the Tower and we have the Lovers, two major arcanas. So this is a big transformational energy that we're stepping into, Aries. The Tower is crumbling down. It is shedding skin for this year of 9. And as we're going into Aquarius season, as we're stepping into this age of Aquarius as well, Aries, you have some sense of self crumbling about you. The Lovers, it could mean a lot. I'm not going to sit here and promise relationships. I'm not going to sit here and promise a deeper connection to self yet. We're going to pull some more cards just to see what it wants to really say. But the Lovers is representing unification. So we're crumbling our towers down and something is shining through. What that is, we'll have to see. We have the 9 of Wands. We have the 2 of Wands. So we have resilience and planning. Contradicting energies. We have generosity and supportive energies. We have movements. We have 8 of Wands. And then contrasting energies is the 6 of Pentacles. So something's crumbling down around you. I'm not sure if it's emotional, if it's financial. Hopefully it's not physical. But you're not offering too much, which is a very nice thing as well. You're not giving anything out that you don't need, that you don't want to give. You are resilient. You are planning for the rebuild of this tower crumbling down. And I'm saying, now I'm kind of feeling in this intuition, this is more of like tower walls crumbling down to connect deeper in with self-love. This is a unification of masculine, feminine energies of self. So we're hearing be strong and plan your next steps. That's what energies are coming forth for you. You could be stepping into it very soon or in the next week, or, the allotted energies around the new moon. You have at least a couple weeks of grace. And like I've said in other videos too, you really have it anytime you want. See, with tower moments, with ego deaths, with things like that, you do have the opportunities to postpone these things. It's not great for your metaphysical being. It's not great for your energy light body. It's not great for your soul. But our physical bodies, especially within ignorance is bliss, really doesn't take much noticeable effect, even though it does get affected quite extravagantly from stagnicity. I'm saying maybe you've experienced some traumas, some severe traumas, mental traumas, emotional traumas. Even with the Lovers here, you've probably undergone some spiritual traumas as well. I know that sucks. I've been there. I've definitely had my fair share of different departments of trauma that, you know what, they make me who I am. And I embrace every single one that I've experienced because somehow it unlocked the codes for me. Again, I don't wish this upon anybody, but I can feel the connection within this reading. I can feel the similarities and the familiarness within this reading. And I'm just going to say right off the bat, I'm sorry. I feel for you. The Tower is not ever an easy energy to experience, but when it leads to the Lovers, you're going to be on the other side soon. And it's going to give you this strength that I can only really express as a saying I like to say, which is I don't get broken anymore. I only get dented. And I can pop that shit out, Aries. So you'll be able to pop that shit out too. Planning is a tricky one here. Planning is, I'm hearing more like coordination as opposed to planning. More like cooperation. Maybe you're folding and falling into yourself. Maybe you're falling for yourself, which isn't easy also. Nobody likes shedding ego, and that's never easy as well. I'm seeing movement here as well as a supporting energy, it being the 8 of Wands. So it's fast movement. Whatever's happening, it's going to be like, boom, rip a band-aid off. This could also be starting something new, especially with the movement. It could resemble a few other things. We're going to pull more cards to see, but we could be tapping into energies of people starting to become more physically fit as well, tapping into physical discipline, which is not easy to do as well. That's another Tower moment. You have to shed your ego's want and drive to stay comfortable, to be stagnant, and you have to push yourself through pain and to have resilience. And you got to make these plans as well, like meal plans, workout date plans, like what are you working out today? How are you working out today? And I'm just saying, working on in general, trying to open your eyes towards it doesn't quite have to be such a higher self and ego comparison. It can be very much energies coming in more on a physical material world. But we don't have any pentacles here. We have a lot of major arcana and wands. So there is action happening here. There is movement happening here. And that is by you. That is by you, from you, for you, moving through all of this. Let's see how we're stepping into these energies to clarify a little bit more in depth. These cards are very powerful, very transformative, very progressive. But not even like progressive. They're very on a 8 of Wands. Okay, that's how we're stepping into it, is 8 of Wands. Same with the supporting energy. 2 8 of Wands. All right. Number 8. So we're being strong with ourselves. We're having the strength to take care of what it is that needs to be taken care of. Okay. I was saying something a minute ago, but I totally just forgot as that 8 of Wands popped out. Action, movement, passion, drive, tenacity. All the good things that Aries is qualified to do, you know? So this is a very natural and inherently instinctual energy, but it's I said progressive, productive. It's pushing. It's pushing you. Show me what else we need to see, Spirit. It is pushing you. And all you got to do really is hold on, because the energies are happening quite strong around you. This tower moment's coming in quick. This tower moment is moving in very quickly with this Eight of Wands. We also have the Three of Swords reversed on the Lovers. So yeah, there's some kind of emotional or spiritual grief, not being able to let go of something still living rent-free in your mind, you know, one of these. Somebody, I'm going to say somebody, but potentially something. When you see the Lovers with the Three of Hearts, or Three of Swords, Three of Hearts, Three of Swords, there's something mental that you're just not releasing. Someone that you're not releasing. This is extremely similar to my story, isn't it? Yeah. There's definitely someone that you have loved in the past or recently. And I mean, you know, I mean love. Okay. You fell in love with somebody. And I will tell you that we don't want to fall in love with anybody. I did it once. I've actually done it a few times, but I really did it once. And we no longer want to fall in love. We want to be in love. And in order to be in love and heal from the traumas that you've experienced and or are experiencing or coming up here in the future, is you have to love yourself first. I feel like I had these exact same cards like 5 years ago. Oh man, okay. I'm so sorry if this is for you right now and you're resonating with this. I hear and feel and sense your pain, but I will tell you what, the only thing you have to not do is quit. That's it. That's the one thing you have to do, is just not quit. And Spirit will absolutely guide you through this next portion. 100, 200%. Okay? Yeah, here on this resilience, I have the Knight of Swords, and it's really wanting to sit sideways. I asked if it should be reversed. They said no. I said upright. They said no. So it's going sideways. You're sitting in trauma. You're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth towards your resilience. I have the strength. I don't have the strength. I don't know what to do. I do know what to do. Wait a second. This isn't working. Wait. Okay. Healing takes time. When you sit in trauma, your mind goes so quickly, so much quicker than you think it's actually going. No pun intended. When you start to heal and slow down, your brain starts to catch up with itself. You start to catch up then intrinsically with your mind, and therefore your soul and entity and self itself can settle and start to calibrate and start to integrate and start to validate. That's kind of the biggest key here, is validation. You need to ground yourself. And I'm not saying like through meditation and all that stuff. Yes, it helps very well. But you need to put your feet somewhere as towards what's happening, because this trauma you're going through, you have no idea where to plant your feet. You have no idea what's happened. You have no idea what's going on or going to happen. You can only make up stories in your mind because said people are probably gaslighting you, or are narcissists, or have other behavioral development issues that you are or were not, aren't, were not, or still might not be aware of. You have to create your own validation. And with that, speaking from a place of truth and experience, with that self-validation, you can create any story you want, which is pretty handy. But the thing about this is you're going to be cracking these codes into intuition, because while I was shuffling this, the High Priestess pops out, right? You're going to be cracking these codes into intuitions. Queen of Swords wants to pop up too. You're going to be cutting through the mental blocks that are holding you up, so desperately holding you up from progressing. It's just happening. The time has come. Spirit's like, yo, screw this. We're going to make this happen. So back and forth thinking. I don't know. I have the strength. I don't have the strength. I might know. I don't know. What the hell is going on? Will somebody please give me an answer? No, they won't. I'm sorry to say. If somebody around you does give you answers and they're willing to work with you to figure things out, maybe a good friend or a family member or something, that person's a keeper in your life. That person actually cares about you. You should have faith in that person. If they're willing to sit by your side and help investigate things with you or figure things out, that's a good friend or a good person. I did not have a lot of those people when I was going through mine. So I'm just saying, be on the lookout for those. Also, through my traumas, I started to get really paranoid. And that comes a lot with this Knight of Swords sideways as well, coming from this Three of Swords reverse. There's a lot of, you're going to be having a lot of paranoia, a lot of, what's the word? I don't know what the word is, but when you feel like everyone's kind of out to get you, like you can't trust, you're going to be losing trust left and right. And that's good. Maybe you're too trusting. I was. That's another reason how I got so hurt, was I was just extremely trusting. I always thought, there was inherent good in people. I couldn't believe that there were people who just would do bad things, but it turns out they do. And it turns out that they'll never admit that either. And they will do anything in their power to make sure that their tracks are covered. So again, your validation is just dust in the wind, So time. I'm seeing movement. Now I'm hearing body movement will help release traumas. Moving your body, whether you want to work out, that's different. You got to put intention into those kind of things. Usually when we work out, our innate energy and body are recognizing it as progress, discipline, growth, things like that. When I work out, I like to go smooth, and I like to go flowing, and I like to go reps, not weight. I like to move, and usually I catch myself cracking and popping and clicking and releasing, and I'm like, wow, that's so cool. Whereas if I just go hard in the paint and do like body movement workout, it doesn't work out that way. I don't release traumas, I just build. Body movement's great. Kundalini's good. If you can look up Kundalini yoga exercises, like this movement, great for releasing in the mudra chakra, in your root, in your sacral, doing butterflies with your legs, standing up and swiveling for your solar plexus. We have for your heart, and then we have for your throat, and then we have meditation for your third eye, and then we have just being for your crown. I do those practices every single day. And then I started to work breath work into it too, and it took a few years. Again, I don't have a guru. I don't have anybody teaching me how to navigate the thoughts I'm having. It's just me, source, and the downloads. Angel, spirits, guides, ancestors, universe, source, and divine creator. Higher self that you are, and all that I am. This is why my channel is called Your Known Unknown. Why XUR? Because out of all the guidance I ever had via YouTube or any other courses I took or people I'd talk to, all the positive reinforcement and affirmations that they would say to me were directed as you. And I never felt worthy via the traumas that I went through. I never felt worthy of the kind words these people were speaking to me with. And so I addressed the energies that I became familiar with as you. That's their name. You is the higher source that helps guide intuition. You is source. You is higher self, but also you is you, because you are me as well, and I am you. We are all together, with all the narcissists and with all of the empaths, with all of the big macho people and all of the little frail people, you know? We're all the same. And you really got to work towards understanding that if you don't already, because that will help with a level of healing that only God itself can offer, shine light on. This is where we're getting to the planning card now. All right. So the Tower is your 8 of Wands. The Lovers, 3 of Swords reverse. And I want to go more in that, but really it's as simple as grief. And if you want to know the definition of grief, it's losing something that you love and not being able to get over it, pretty much. Here's another way you can tell if you have these traumas. Grieving, a healthy amount of grieving, statistically speaking, is about 1 to 3 months. Anything past kind of 3 months, you have trauma. You have severe trauma. This guy, we're looking at about 5 years later, so, you know, I can relate a little bit. But also, we have a lot of healing in there, too. It's just, we're trying to navigate things. So, just keep trying to navigate things. This resilience is going to be the key factor of all of this. Don't give up. All right? If you don't know anything about what's happening, if you have no validation, don't think about the past as much as you can. All right? We want to just either think about the present or plan for the future. Plan. Don't expect. Don't think about it. Don't intuit the future. You're not really in a place where you can be fortune telling the future right now, because it is so chaotic inside of your being at the moment. And that's okay. I'm just saying, give it some time. Be patient with yourself. Try to live in the present moment as much as you can. This is why movement is a very handy thing to do. Usually if you're doing something, you're not thinking. And especially if you're flowing with what you're doing, you're definitely not thinking usually. And that gets you out of the mind and back into the body. And that's where you can heal. That's also where you create. That's also where you don't show signs of being so traumatized. You start to do things. You start to release your sexual energy into creativity. You start to, transmute, not release. You start to transmute all of the things that are affecting you and moving forward, creating new memories, which allows you to heal. This guy just sat still for a long time and didn't understand how or why what was going on. So, trying to help you not have to sit still in trauma. That's not fun. You go nowhere. You feel so much worse than you did before, or just as bad. But you're getting more answers. So it's like the more answers you get, you're like, wow, I wish I would have fucking known that earlier. You know, it's just, no, so unnecessary. The planning card. Dude, really? We're getting the Tower out again? It's just popping up and saying hello. Planning, the Fool card. New plans. Let's create new memories. Right, Aries? Let's start today. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. What's happened in the past has already happened. Nothing you can do about it. And making somebody accountable isn't going to make you feel any better anyways. And I think you know that. freaks me out when that Tower card comes up twice, especially with you right now. I understand your pain. Again, I'm so sorry. There's no other feeling than falling in love with somebody and being betrayed. No other feeling like it. You know, Abraham Lincoln went through the same kind of experience that I went through. Who is his love? Anne something. I forgot her last name. But supposedly the story says that when she broke his heart, he went through a very grieving time and ended up coming out the other side wanting to be this integral leader. He had these amazing virtues about him from the heartbreak he went through. Same thing with Carl Jung. I think Carl Jung did the same thing too. Yeah. Lots of great leaders of the world and history, innovators, people who have helped mankind came from this energy right here. Just letting you know. That gave me hope back in the day. Still gives me hope to be the best me that I can possibly be. And somehow Source has navigated me out from the dark and into this light that I'm trying to exist in now, and that I'm learning to navigate. This is a whole new experience and a whole new self that, because of all the towers that have happened to me, now we've had this chance to step into these new positive energies, and we've never experienced things like these before. This is all new, and it is a lot of fun, but it takes time. It took time. I see that there's a lot quicker movement for you, which is good, especially hopefully after this reading. You're going to have very quick recession or rapid movement. Also, it's only about a week or so until this new moon pops up. So, keep your discernment up. Be resilient. Don't react, respond, or nothing at all. You don't owe anybody anything, Aries. Nothing at all. Somebody says, hey, have a good day. You don't have to say shit back. In fact, if you don't feel like it, don't do it. If you don't feel like it, that's your intuition telling you, don't worry about that crap. If you feel obliged to do anything, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it shamelessly. It's what we do. And you're a really nice person too. I can tell that this love definitely has affected. Opening up with a Tower moment, your heart's shattered. But you're on the path to starting something new and fresh. You should start planning for that, so you don't also do what I did, which is have to go through a whole test and trial period of research and development to figure out with the co-creator Source and angels and spirits what it is that we actually even like. I got so traumatized that I lost passion for everything, even life itself. And that's when the code started to come in, once I gave up my will to live. We don't want to see anybody go through that. That's why I started this channel. That's why I like to talk to people, and that's why I talk the way I do talk. That's why I'm present when I'm listening to somebody, and I remember things like their birthdays, their favorite colors, what it is they like to eat, how they like to eat it, things like that. I remember the small details. I care. I've always cared, and I know you do too. This is why I'm intuiting, expressing these emotions to you right now. Otherwise, I wouldn't be talking about this kind of stuff at all. It's something you need to hear and know. I want to see how you feel about this right now. Spirit, tell me how the sign of Aries feels about all this. I see what you're experiencing. I see how you're navigating through this. Start new things, new endeavors. Try new stuff. Distract yourself. Recreate yourself. You have the whole world ahead of you. Knight of Cups. Yeah. You just want to love. I know that. You just want I'm really sorry, Aries. I know. You want to be the best you possible for everybody. It's all you've ever wanted, right? Yeah, I know. And you are. And you will be. You have been. You've just not been reciprocated by the kindest of energies either. That's the other thing. You are such a lover, such a giver, such an achiever. That now you're questioning even who you are. Well, this will pass. Eventually, you will cultivate who you are. The story is unique to you, too. I kept wanting to ask, like, I wonder if these kind of experiences just kind of happen as the wheels of the zodiac shift over time. Spirit's like, no. So I'm like, oh, maybe Capricorns just in general as a collective kind of went through these sort of, no. These are individual stories. These are individual experiences, to each their own. Even Abe Lincoln had his own story. You have your own story. I have my own story. But the energies are familiar. Where we need to step it up, we need to start focusing more on Three of Wands, okay? Looking forward towards a better tomorrow. Not letting yesterday keep you tied down from expansion, all right? It seems like maybe it's the end of the world. I know that emotions are so loud and so powerful and so distracting, but it's not the end of the world. And you can take all the time you need to get your brain and wits about you again, to get your feet back under you. But one thing that helps expedite it is not sitting in depression and getting up and making yourself work, getting up and making yourself stay in routine to help get over whatever losses you're experiencing or whatever shedding you're going to have to go through or whatever towers need to crumble down in your experience. Look forward towards the expansion. It is going to happen, and you can expedite this process. Especially as an Aries, you have every capability to help things move quickly, very much without thought. I see minimal swords here in this reading. In fact, the only real swords pertaining to this is you questioning your own thoughts and then the pain that you remember experiencing. And so that's a good sign. They are very strong and loud. Your heart is extremely loud to your brain, but that's okay. Again, they're just emotions, they're thoughts, they're in your mind. They do not have to exist in your reality. You can cut them out all you want. So we have 888. We have another 8 of Wands. All right. Super fast. Like whatever you're doing is just straight up action, moving shit through. You're like, I'm not wasting my damn time. Whatever this kid on the channel has been saying, taking 5 years. No, screw that. It's going to take 5 days. Good. Do it. Anything I can do, you can do better. That I promise. All right. I promise. You got this. You have 888 out here, just right off the bat. Super strength, super resilience. The universe is fully supporting you, and it might not feel like it. You might be just in this tumultuous whirlwind of your own demise, but that's okay. This too shall pass. It always does. Don't fall into self-sabotaging. Just experience the emotions. Let the thoughts try to calibrate, and eventually things will even out. I promise. I promise. How else do we need to step it up here, Spirit? Thank you, thank you, thank you. so many wands. Wow. 5 of wands here. Yeah, where we can step it up. Standing up for yourself. Stand up for your own opinion. Stand up for what you think happened. Stand up for what you're believing in. You think something happened to you? By God, honor that. Because what's going to happen is eventually you're going to trust your intuition. If you don't already. The way I experienced navigating through this over the course of a few years was I experienced something, and then as I was healing and like while I was isolating and stuff, I had all these thoughts, and like I watched all these videos online that were popping up into my awareness, my perception of like, ooh, CPTSD, oh my God, all these psychology things that would help explain how I function and I'm operating the way I'm operating. But then a lot of them, and also tarot readers too, would shine light as towards what causes that kind of operating. So like, what sort of dynamic was I experiencing where I would end up having this kind of like people pleaser mentality, or what caused that? Things like that. But I had to experience, I had to stop and reflect. Then I had to, after reflection, kind of be like, screw it, might as well get on with it now that I've thought so hard and I realize I'm not doing anything. Then I start doing things, and then the answers came, is what I'm saying. Like, that's how spirit worked with me. They might work the same with you, right? No, it's gonna be different. Teach their own. Well, teach their own. But believing in yourself, all right? It's standing up for yourself. It's honoring yourself. Honoring your actions. Honoring whatever you did. Being accountable. You don't have to apologize to anybody. Even if you made a mistake. You don't have to apologize to anybody. You don't even have to say the words, I'm sorry, even if you were wrong and were sorry. You can say, literally, I apologize for blank. I will do better next time. Here's how I'll do better. It's the best kind of apology right there. You don't even have to say the words, I apologize. Oh, I screwed up. Yeah, my bad. I guess I did make a mistake. Yeah. I have found over the last few years, I've actually only sincerely had to apologize one time. One time. And I still didn't even say the words, I'm sorry. Because it's unnecessary, and I don't respect that term. I don't. I respect change. If somebody wrongs me and they're important enough for me to address that they've wronged me at this point, I used to make sure that I could address it back in the day. I used to be like, here's how you affected me, here's why and how. And I realized nobody really gives a shit or wants to listen to that or changes from that either. I'm not their dad, you know? So I learned how to keep it to myself and how to work with it internally, how to process things internally. And I learned how to tap in by doing that. And I see that you're going to be learning how to kind of tap in. You're going to be kind of learning how to advance yourself through these very heavy energies and emotions. And it's a very good experience to learn. But again, you don't have to apologize to anybody. You have nothing to be sorry about, ever. If you did something wrong, don't do it next time. That's the best way to apologize, is by changing how you do it, you know what I mean? So anyways, that's so funny too. Along with the reading here, we have 4, 4, 4, 4. It's going to be 16 by the time we're done pulling these. Actually 18, because I'm asking emotions too, but 16. So we're down at, we're at 12 now. We were at 8 again, so that's 8, 8, 8, 8. That's 4 8s. We're about to have 5 8s by the end of this. This is crazy. 8 is just going to be this huge number of like infinite self-love. All right. Infinite power, strength, resilience. Resilience. We have both of them coming out here with Queen of Pentacles and Queen of Swords reverse. Where we need to step it up. Self-criticizing. And we want to plan. I see. Okay. Okay, so self-criticization, self-criticisms. Thank you. Where else we need to step it up? Material creation. Okay. Don't lose sight of your passions. If you still have them, if your traumas were not so severe that you literally gave up the things that you loved the most, even, good for you. You're safe. And continue with those. If, however, you don't know who you are anymore, you don't understand anything that's happening, you just know that whatever's happening somehow, maybe in another reality, makes sense. And you can feel that. And if you feel what I mean, if that what I just said resonates with you, don't sit in stagnation. Just try new things. Go experience new stuff that you've wanted to try to do. Take your mind off of the past. Get into the present. Do it. Just do it. It's going to be amazing. I promise. It's going to expedite a lot of issues, a lot of health problems that can be caused from severe traumas and things like that. Yeah. Countering energies are the Queen of Cups reverse. So, like, fuck that. Don't fall back into anything. Don't be too emotional to other people. Fuck that. You've been hurt. You don't owe anybody anything. Supportive energies, 8 of Cups reversed as well. Where you can step it up, supportive energy, 8 of Cups reversed. So try to move on. The 8 of Cups is this energy of moving on from imbalances. So when it's reversed, I'm going to intuit it as moving on from the imbalances. That's where you need to step it up, because you're not doing that. You're ruminating. You're dwelling. You're really trying to validate your experience that's happened so far, and Spirit's just shining in being like, that's not going to happen right now. You're not going to get our validation, and I'm sorry about that, but you have to go experience in this wonder. You have to experience life in this with your wonder walls up for a while you're trying to navigate social relationships and professional relationships in your own life, trying to get your feet back underneath you, because when you finally do get validated, it's not even like the tower is going to crumble. It's like all the dominoes fall. Then you're like, boom, got it. Thank you. And then I sit here, I'm like, that was it? That was the thing I had to learn the whole time? They're like, yeah. I'm like, ah, man. My spirit guides are funny, dude. They know me better than I do. Yours know you better than you do, too. So just be patient. Be strong. Work through these energies. Get over the past, whatever it is. It's well worth it to look into the future and try not to hang on to the 8 broken cups that are gleaming over your experience right now. It's not worth it. I just got a new deck today. I like this deck. This is my dark deck. I want to see what blockages, limitations, and demons we have holding us up through these. What is it that we do not see? What demons are taking care of us right now, Spirit? What demons are grabbing hold? Show me what we need to see. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's the Fool card. In its dark representation, I like this. This energy leaps without awareness and so becomes the literal idiot. Not you. I just liked that description. Maybe you don't like what I'm saying. Or maybe you're taking what I'm saying and you're going, oh my God, your known unknown said that I have to go and start doing all this. I'm going to jump to it. No, you have to stop and plan for yourself. You have to take what little mental energy you have left from this energy, because I'm not seeing a lot of swords, which means I'm seeing like your chaos mind right now. Your mind is the vastness of oblivion that people are so freaked out about when they talk about the unknown or oblivion in itself. That's one of air signs' biggest fears, is oblivion on its shadow side. Maybe you have air placements in other subtle energies. Maybe your moon sign, maybe your rising, or other, like Lilith or Ceres or something like that. Maybe your Chiron's an air sign. But we don't want quick action like that. What's quick in this reading is what's happening to us. The crumbling of the towers, the detachments, the ego deaths. Those are coming in quickly, which is good. Ripping off band-aids. That's the best, most effective and efficient way to move through these. If you can stay mentally balanced at all, whether it be through breath work, meditation, physical exercises, yoga nidra, kundalini, anything like that, you'll be a lot more emotionally stable and well balanced throughout it. That's why I recommend those. Things are happening quick. Your job is not to act quickly. Your job is to respond conscientiously and quickly. Conscientiously if it's to an outside person of yourself, but quickly if it's just, hey, Spirit says, get up and act today. And you're like, okay, I will. All right, I will. I'll do it. I'll see what you say. And you will try your best to be happy and appreciative the whole time, because if you're going to be a little punk about it, Spirit's not going to give you any more opportunities until you apologize. Pretty much. That's the only thing you ever have to say I'm sorry to, is your higher self. I'm sorry for betraying you. That was not what I wanted to do. I did not mean to roll relationship repetitive repeat. I didn't mean to. I call them like role repetitions in relationships. It's kind of like where if you were hurt in your last relationship, they say that in the next relationship, you're usually the person that does the hurting, And I think that a lot of that can come through with self-to-self too. You got to recognize, like, a lot of self-to-self is you're either addressing your ego or you're addressing your higher self, because we're just a balanced bag of meat in between that's trying to calibrate and experience all this crap. So the Fool here, as its negative connotation, is just saying, don't be an idiot. Basically, don't do stupid things. It's not going to benefit you. You will feel shamed. You will feel bad and down on yourself. I promise, it's not fun. Be conscientious about your quick movements. That's all. I'm not saying take your time or don't move. That's the other thing. Staying stagnant will mess you up. We want Ida and Pingala, your masculine and feminine energies. We want them moving around. If both are underactive, you're stagnant and you are not growing, and they are not happy doing that. They both like to be active. If one is more overactive than the other one, that's pretty easy to see then. You're either doing more than feeling, or the feeling more than doing. You're either thinking more than creating or something. There's ways to tell in that sense if they're overactive. But if they're both inactive and stagnant, sorry, that's trauma 101. That's living in the past, because you can't move those emotions through your body, and that's how you do it, is you move the emotions through your body. I'm just hearing root chakra practices. Baby, stretch your hips out. Make them pop. Move them. Look up somatic exercises as well. That's a great thing. I just happened to fall into those one time, and some of the biggest emotional releases I've ever had were through somatic works, practices. And it was in my hips, specifically my hip flexors. And it was huge. One night, I just wanted to stretch out my hips, and it felt good, and I kept going and going and going and stretching, and next thing I knew, I went and I started crying because I felt this pent up emotion that was in my hip and my quad just shoot up my body. I started bawling. I was watching something, and it triggered me just so hard. You might go through something like that, so be prepared. We have the World card. This World card shows that you are ready to move on, but feel blocked and don't feel you're deserving of success. Yeah. That's a demon holding on to you. The demon of shame. We want to let go of that. It's a very unhelpful energy. You are worthy. You are love and light, Aries. You are the ram. You are the cerebram. You are the beginning of all of the calendar year. Calendrial year. Is that the word? Thanks, Spirit. That was weird. Yeah, I hear you loud and clear. I'll get there in a minute. But you are love and light. You are something special. And how I know you're something special is because you're going through this energy. You don't go through this kind of energy without some kind of wisdom on the other side of it. I promise. And you might not know who, how, why, or what now, but give it some time and just keep growing in life. You have a lot of life still ahead of you, all right? So, another thing being the ram and where it's placed within the zodiac. If you were looking at the symbology of the man in the zodiac, you're in the head. But besides that, Jesus is a part of that. And sitting with the aspects of Christ consciousness would do you very, very well, I feel. Maybe stepping into 5D, Christ consciousness meditations, things like that will really help shed a lot of compassion from self to your soul. That would be very utilizable. Practicing that which Christ did, honestly, very, very beneficial. I did a lot of that too, and it really moved mountains for me. It really helped cultivate this really sincere kindness about me, one that allows me to sit and be fully present, one that allows me to really take in the energies of another person, completely disregarding my own, not out of lack of safety, especially not now. I discern left and right. But knowing that when it's safe, I can fully open up and be as vulnerable as I need to be so they can feel received. Because that's what feels really good, is being received by somebody. A lot of this trauma came from you trying, and it not being reciprocated because that person receiving you didn't value or respect what you were offering and giving them. So you feel like crap, right? And that's what I'm saying. Being received is what feels good in connection. I could sit here and talk about me, but if you're not, like, if you get annoyed and you're like, God, this guy won't shut the fuck up, I can sense that, and I will keep being like, what, me, you know? But wait a second, and that's kind of how that subconsciously works. And that probably happened a lot with you here. You were probably super gaslit. You were probably just super shamed and like betrayed. Yeah, I get it. But you weren't being given anything back because all you wanted to do was love somebody. And what is loving somebody? It's receiving the emotions that they are presenting and giving to you, the energies that they are giving you. You receive them respectfully and fully, and you honor them. And that emotion is usually love. Next up, demons holding us back. This strength or lust card, and I'm going to say lust, okay? Given its connotation, how it's sitting. Watch out. Watch out. All right? Don't share your energy with other people. It will only cause more confusion and more chaos in your being. If you've had your heart broken, don't go try to get over them with other people. It ain't going to work, first off. It will put you further into a different kind of hole than you're expecting. You'll be more in like a karmic hole or experience versus just a life lesson or a blessing that the universe is trying to really bestow on you, which is going to shift you internally to immense amounts. So don't go just trying to, like, you know, soothe your needs. And don't have lack of strength when it comes to other people, especially with lust, too. Again, back to that root chakra, very tied in with lust. I think that a lot of you would do great with grounding yourself into your root chakra. Open that guy up. Activate it. Listen to the sounds. Listen to the healing frequencies, whatever you got to do. And don't stop after one time. Turn it into a habit. It will work. You will feel so much more secure, so much better off than what you're right now, or will be here soon at the new moon energy. Give me one more. I really like this deck, Spirit. This looks good. Thank you. I had to drive 3 hours to go pick up this deck after work today. It's damn well worth it. It was calling to me. I told him I needed a dark deck. All my decks I'm trying to do, like, blockage readings and stuff, and this one deck that I have that was my blockage deck is like, I don't want to be this right now. And I was like, I know, I can tell you're so hard to read when I'm trying to read these blockages and things. We had to shift it towards like, where are we needing to step it up? Now I got a dark deck. Now I can be like, yo, show me what devils want to pop up. Thank you. Show me what demons are holding back these Aries still. Oh, you've been sneaky in there, haven't you? Both of you, huh? I have the Three of Pentacles and the Eight of Swords reversed as well. Double reversed here. Look at how far you've come. Just in life, in general. That will help with the resilience. That will help with the cultivation of more strength and more progression towards a better tomorrow. Yeah, gratefulness, sure. Yes, gratefulness definitely will help. But self-reflection. Not reflection of whatever traumas or situationships are causing this kind of issue right now, or soon to come, but where you've come from, what you've learned by yourself, on your own, kind of thing. Not like what you've learned on your own, but like what you've learned in life. what lessons you've gone through, how far you've advanced to get to where you're at here today. Yeah, you might be hurting today, but that just means that you can feel even deeper than you expected because it hurts so bad, right? It hurts so bad, but that's the depths in which you can feel. That's also the depths in which you offer love. The more it hurts, the more you must have loved, you know? So being confident with yourself from your past, from your growth, where you're at, that's a good reflection to do. And don't let the devils of ignorance really hold you into a present. Like when you're living presently, don't let them distract you and think that you're nothing. Don't let them think that this situation, oh, this must be who I am because I'm deserving this. No, 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 no. You're going through this as an experience to create something else better. And you're going to find out what that is. And it's going to be nothing but love and light. I promise you that. Because we're in this universe and the universe fully supports you. That I promise. So I'm going to pull one more card to see how you feel now. Oh, wow, that was quick. The Hanged Man. It's the Hanged Man, and they said sideways again. But it's the Hanged Man, so it's good. You're starting to look at things from a little bit different perspective. I didn't learn how to do this tarot by studying. I learned how to do this tarot. I learned how to read tarot because after I was experiencing these traumas and stuff like that, I got put in jail. And while I was sobering up and being who I was meditating every day just because what else do you do in jail, right? You read books, walk around, eat food, and sleep. But I couldn't sleep anymore, so I meditated. Within that meditation, some cards that I had been familiar with from one of my exes, who I knew a few cards. I don't remember what they were, but they were like the Tower, or they were like the Hermit, things like that. I just remembered them, and I remember the numbers, and I was like, tarot? Well, I can't get tarot decks in jail, so what am I going to do? And Spirit gave me a deck of playing cards. And I spent the next handfuls of weeks with a piece of paper and a pencil and a deck of playing cards trying to assimilate and formulate what the suits meant with my intuition, what the cards represented and could represent. And I started to teach myself, from myself, tarot. It was called Tarocchini, I found out. The fun thing about all of that is when I did get out of jail and I still had my deck of cards, I started to do some research, and it turns out everything that I had intuited was 100% on point. Every goddamn thing that came from my mind was accurate about what was happening here with the deck of cards. And from that moment on, I knew that I could speak with tarot. I knew that I could connect with it, and I have no idea how, why, when, or how, what happened. No practice. I had no previous real recollection of tarot. I had only pulled 4 cards in my whole life, and it was during a relationship that the cards I remember that sent me into the spiritual awakening were telling me shit's gonna go down, and I remember them. I'll never forget them. I'll never forget that warning sign that I saw at the beginning of one relationship, and then here we are again today. Here we are today, years and years later. I could pull cards left and right, and I can read them like a map, man. Not only that, they speak to me. What do they say? Nothing. They're cards. And we still have a good sense of humor about us, right? They never got that down. So Aries, you're looking at this now from a different point of view, and you're with the Hanged Man wanting to sit sideways. I can tell you're kind of on the fence as towards what it is you should believe. And yeah, that's what trauma does. It makes you sit on the fence towards what you believe. It makes you feel like everything that you knew was a lie, right? But we're moving forward. We're moving forward to calmer grounds, either currently or after this new moon, because this is what the energies are coming up. And I hate to be this bearer of maybe unfortunate news, but I hope I'm all wrong, honestly. I honestly, right now, I hope from this reading that if this is the energies coming up, that I am just 100% wrong for you right now. You're moving towards a King of Cups, all right? If you want that kind of information to look forward to, you are moving towards being in the energy of King of Cups, which is love. Oh, love at its most regal and honored. So have hope and faith. Fuck that. Don't have hope. Have faith. Have faith and confidence. If all you have right now is hope, have hope. And keep moving. Keep moving forward. Aries, these are the energies and message that I have for you if you so choose to accept them. You do have a choice. Just by the way. I just wanted to make sure that I had to ask, does Aries have a choice in this? Yes. Aries does have a choice. We're going to leave it at that. I'm going to take a deep breath. You can join me, please, if you would, Aries. For you to help integrate and lock in these energies. Another thing I used to say is, I used to pray to Spirit and say, throw me to the wolves, man. I want to learn as much as I can, as fast as I can. Throw me to the wolves. Let's experience it. Nobody else has the strength or courage that I do, right? So they put me through the darkest pieces of my experience in reality. And I still came out on top. And I have faith that you can and will too. So anyways, we're going to take a deep breath to integrate these and lock them in. I'm going to take a deep breath to disconnect from this channel. Again, you can join me if you'd like to. We're going to hold at the top. I'm going to send you love and light healing energies as I exhale. And that'll be that. We'll be on our way. Just join me, please, if you would like. Aries, we are complete, and thank you for receiving me. It means more than you know. And yeah, again, thank you. And until next time, much love.